स्थानीय क्षेत्रों से आए स्वयंसेवी संस्थाओं के प्रतिनिधियों का भी हार्दिक स्वागत है। मीडिया से आए लोग उनका स्वागत है। हम सब भारत रत्न प्रोफेसर राव के विचार सुनने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा उत्साहित हैं। इस कार्यक्रम की अध्यक्षता हमारे संस्था के गवर्निंग बॉडी के वरिष्ठ सदस्य एवं कुमाऊं विश्वविद्यालय के पूर्व कुलपति डॉक्टर बी.के. जोशी करेंगे। अब मैं दीप प्रज्वलन के लिए मंचासीन अतिथियों का आमंत्रण करता हूँ।
अब मैं आज का व्याख्यान देने के लिए प्रोफेसर CNR राव को आमंत्रित करता हूँ और साथ ही आप लोगों को ये भी बताना चाहता हूँ कि आप अंग्रेजी में ही अपना व्याख्यान देंगे। हिंदी आप अच्छी तरह समझते हैं, बोलते भी हैं, लेकिन व्याख्यान देने के लिए आपको अंग्रेजी में ज्यादा सहूलियत है। प्रोफेसर CNR राव।
पांडे, वाली साहब और कुलपति जी, जोशी जी और म्यूनसिपालिटी का अध्यक्ष महोदय my old friend Mr. Pande, Arvind Pande, there's so many other friends here, and my dear friends of Almora, my young friends, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very grateful to the organizers who have asked me to give a talk in memory of Mr. Billy Pande, whom I had known. I think he was cabinet secretary. I always knew him because of this little beard. I'll never forget. That beard is covered in the photograph, but it's nice. This beard is always nice. I always remember. Very always on the top. There's one of those very, very efficient, very capable men I had known in the government. Even the other day, I was telling somebody, how come we have so many cabinet secretaries? I worked with many of them. Why don't we have people like Pande anymore? He was a wonderful officer, with excellent, capable, very considerate, very efficient, very capable. I was very glad to give a talk in his memory. And much more so to give a talk in Almora, the center of learning of Uttarakhand. It is a knowledge city of Uttarakhand. I've known that. Almora and I've always had a great reputation for education, and everyone I know always studied in Almora for some reason. And I'm very glad to be here. I'm very sorry I'm not speaking in Hindi. I can speak a few words, but I can't give a speech continuously without break, and I'm mixing it up with a lot of English, so I'm going to speak in English. You'll pardon me for that. I'm going to talk about science in India. Where are we in science today? For those who may not remember, let me remind you, we got freedom on August 15, 1947. I just entered college at that time. I was very young. I was only 13 years old, but I entered college at a very young age. We all were looking for a new India. Nobody knew what that India was going to be. Slowly India started doing things. Small few institutions started coming. What was amazing was, there was no money there. There was poverty everywhere. You may not believe it, in Bangalore city, there was rationing. Food was rationed, cloth was rationed. Nothing was available when we got freedom. I still remember, you had to influence people to get 1 kilogram more of something. It was very difficult those days. We have come away from that. Today India is no longer in that position. There was only one university in my state. If you wanted to study science, you study in Bangalore. You study humanities, you have to study in Mysore. That is one reason I left my state and went to Bharat in a university, which was a very wonderful university at that time. Everything was in short supply. There was a number of colleges, there was food, and it didn't matter what. But what was amazing was, there was tremendous hope. Somehow there was hope that India, something would come up in India. What is interesting even now historically, this poor India which affirmed its faith in science. Amazingly, Mr. Pandit there, whatever you may say about anything else, you may agree, disagree with him, it doesn't matter. As far as faith in science, and the future of India being closely associated with science, nobody can doubt his faith. There is one man who was more convinced about science than scientists. Absolutely terrific. But anyway, and he even passed the science policy resolution in the government where the parliament said this country will accrue all benefits of science for the people of India. It is unbelievable science policy resolution. I still remember that. Slowly they have built institutions and so on. But anyway, I did my PhD, they told you America and then postdoctoral work in University of California. But I came back to India in 1959. I was exactly 25 years old. I just joined as a member of staff in the Indian Society. But there was absolutely nothing. Absolutely no facilities, no equipment. There were no spectrometers, diffractometers, what have you. In fact, except some broken beakers and test tubes and some, wax and thread and so on. There was nothing there. How do you do outstanding research in a place when there was nothing? It was a real problem for me because I had very high hopes of doing something in India. I gave up other opportunities in America, including faculty positions in some leading university. Instead of that, I decided to come back to India. For various reasons, I thought I must come and build a fantastic institute in India. And so, having done that, I went and what I should do. But in spite of that, I did all kinds of little things, little papers, borrowing, all kinds of tricks I used, going all over the place, and spectrum here and spectrum there, go to Professor C.V. Raman, ask him for help, I get something from him, all kinds of places, did something, and published some papers. In fact, some of them became citation classics at that time. The papers I published in 1960, it was long ago. But then I had to decide what is it I do. Then I picked up, I decided to pick an area where by doing work in India without much facilities, I can still make a big contribution. And that's how I picked the area of chemistry of solids. The subject didn't exist at that time. Everybody would say, there is solid state physics, there is solid state chemistry. It didn't exist. Hardly anybody in the world was working on it. I was one of the early, people think I'm grandfather of the subject today. When I started, I was one of the early people working in that area. In fact, that is one of the important things. In India, to be successful, I always say, pick a lonely road. Don't be in a crowded area. Everybody works, gets PhDs and postdocs work in the same area. It's quite boring. Everybody does the same thing. Nobody actually looks at you. You may publish good papers, nobody reads. That's the problem today. So just publishing is not enough. Just doing work is not enough. But competing with the rest of the world has become essential. To succeed, therefore, even today my advice to all the young boys and girls is pick that lonely road. In fact, I always read a poem of Robert Frost. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And that is very, very important to me. So that is how I have come up. Today, of course, I don't want to say it before, I have published more in this work than any other person in this world, including all the Americans and Ratna, I publish a lot. Even now I publish about 25 papers a year, and I still am being cited in a very big way. I'm very happy about that. In fact, it so happened that many people, the other day, about 2-3 years ago, I was coming in Europe, I was giving a conference, talking in an international conference. I was in a European airport with a friend of mine. Somebody came and said to me, Mr. Rao, I heard your talk, it was very nice. You know, I want to tell you, there was some man with your name who published his paper in 1960 with a very important paper. I just know he is dead. No, I said, that is all. So anyway, coming to serious things. Having done all this, I must have witnessed in India the creation of the very first IIT. I remember when the first IIT was created, the director of the Indian Institute of Science, Sajjati Ghosh, was my professor, also went to Kharagpur to start a new IIT. I was one of the first batch of research scholars for a few months in IIT Kharagpur. Many IITs have come, many institutions have come. Then what has happened is India become great. When Pande may remember, when Rajiv Gandhi's time, when I used to be chairman of the advisory council to the Prime Minister, we got the feeling maybe in 88, late 80s, India has come away. Not bad, things are looking good, things are looking better. But suddenly things change, you see. Geopolitical scenario changed. Russia disappeared, Soviet Union disappeared. Globalization took over. China has come up like a, my God, I can't say what the objective would be. Extraordinary happening. Large scale investment in every area you think of. Then South Korea, which got freedom in 1947 exactly at the same time as India, has come up. In fact, South Korea is what I would like to compare with. Can we be as good as South Korea? They are beaten Japanese hollow. They are better than Japan in many things. South Korea has become a fantastic, scientifically advanced country. Very, very advanced. China, on the other hand, is large numbers. See, for example, you go to university there, they gave me some honor last year. I got a medal of the Academy of China. It was last year or 2 years ago. I had gone there to receive it. I visited 2-3 places to give lectures. I asked them, like, the students will be interested. Anyway, आपका chemistry department में कितना professor है, कितना student है, कितना student PhD, how many students are doing PhD research, PhD संशोधन कितना लोग करता है. So I mean, what do you say facts हो करता है? Well, 600-700 PhD students in chemistry department. Yeah. What about physics? There are also about 600 students. So how many professors? 250 professors in physics. The numbers are frightening. Numbers of, in fact, in Indian Institute of Chemistry, I have been associated with that. I know all the people there. They know me also very well. Very famous institute in Beijing. So you know the number of PhD students is about 2,200. One institute. And equipment, any equipment you want. You know, I asked my friend who is now the president of the Chinese Academy, Chunli, what is it you are doing? Building this thing, producing thousands of students. One is largest number of science graduates, engineering graduates come now from China. I hope you know that. They have beaten everybody out. The largest number of science and engineering graduates come from China. America is nowhere. What about PhDs? Well, you know, they used to produce 48,000 PhDs. Last year they produced 20,000 PhDs. This year it will be 22,000 or 21,000 PhDs per year. They want to produce 30,000 in the next 3 years. 30,000 per year. America produces 23,000 PhDs per year. We produce 8,000 PhDs per year. Now, I think 8,000 is fine. That's why I was joking with this friend of mine. What will you do? Every sweeper in the street will be a PhD. What will you make them do? PhD करके क्या करेगा वो? बेचारा. In fact, he said, no. China is secret. You know what? You want to do everything in a big way. Then we will see what happens. We can, in India, if we do that, there's a revolution. Then 1,000 PhDs go to the street without any job. The irony will have a problem. Anyway, this is the situation. In fact, China has now, as you know, they want to become number one in science. They are now number one in the army. They are the world's biggest army. They are number one in sports, as you know, in Olympics last time. And they say now they want to go one in science. The way they have proved it is by producing the largest number of papers in science. So they are number 2 in science. 16.5% of the world's science is published by the United States. Nearly 15% is now from China. India is 2.5%. China was also 2.5% 15 years ago. So 2.5% is now up to close to 15%. In about a year or maybe 2 years, China will take over America. So the biggest publisher of science in the world will be China in about a year. But quality is different. Nobody can beat the United States. The United States leads the world in the quality of science, and China is way behind. There is no question. But they will come up. They are trying hard. Even in terms of quality, they are slowly showing big improvement. There is a way of calculating it. One of my friends wrote an article in Nature some years ago. He said, if you take the top 1% of the papers of the world, highly cited papers, top 1% of published papers, in that, India had only less than 1% contribution. America had 64% of the contribution. 64% of the top 1% of the world came from America. China was also 1%, like us. Now they have gone to 5 to 6, 7% if they have gone up. But we are still 1%. We are still very low. So this is the problem. And in 1 minute I will try to summarize the kind of competition India is. If you want to beat anybody in science or be competitive, there is no point competing with numbers. We don't worry about China, right? They produce. But we have to prove the quality. But quality, every sphere of life is something that is not very good in India. Mediocrity somehow runs the world. Everywhere is mediocrity. There is education and science. There is mediocrity. More schools, but bad schools. More university, more IITs, second rate IITs. You see, what is amazing to me, there is not even one IIT which can be compared to, say, the Massachusetts Institute of Technology or University of Cambridge. I'm still a professor there, I can tell you. Why is that? It is not that we have no brain, after all we have university. But I will not go into that. The main problem is we are suffering from this mediocre performance in the area of science and education. I must add education today, because without education, science cannot survive. And many of you may or may not remember, during Rajiv Gandhi's time, in Arvind Pande may or may not remember, C.V. Narasimha was the Minister for Education. He was asked to write a new national policy for education. In that, one of the parties, many of us helped him to write chapters in that. And one of the things it says is, India will invest 6% of the GDP in education. 6%. Then it was 2%, it is 2% even now. No change in that. India, every prime minister says will invest at least 2%. It is still 0.9%. So investment in terms of science, in terms of money, is very, very poor for education. Very poor for education. In that, there is a big cut this year. This year, there is a big cut in education and operations. So I don't want to talk about that and the present government. Because I don't want to speak, because political, I'm not a politician. But the fact remains, they're not invested enough. And what do we do? That is one aspect. Second, our banking system also is important. You see how many Indians, how many citizens, like in Almora or in Bangalore, have gone in a profession saying, we want better education for children. They have never done that. They have gone for better roads, better everything else, lower taxes, maybe something else, but they have a better education. Education, I think, should become a sort of a social movement. Some of the society has to take interest in it in such a way that the government concerned will be afraid of the people they will improve the schools better. They will providing better education for children. Right now, any school is okay, anybody can teach. Even today, the number of single teacher schools in Karnataka alone is about 2,000. Thousands of schools have one teacher, even now in primary level. So you can imagine so many schools, single teacher schools. So I think this is something I wanted to mention. That is one of the reasons why we are not doing well education. Other than that, investment alone and value system alone, there are many other aspects. Michael Faraday, I hope you all know Michael Faraday. Michael Faraday, to me, is the greatest scientist that ever lived. Nobody can beat the performance of Michael Faraday in science. The history of science, there has been nobody, there will be nobody else. Because the number of things he did in his life, one man sitting alone wrote 450 papers. And people say, if only he lived in the 20th century, he would have got maybe 5 or 6 Nobel Prizes. I would have thought at least 4 Nobel Prizes would have got if he were in 20th century. The discovery of electricity, the laws of electrolysis, discovery of benzene, the number of things he did is very extraordinary. That's not the question. But what he said was, in science, you see, the success is not based on what you do, but the problem you pick. The problem you pick is the one that decides what quality of science you have. And that's absolutely true. You have to pardon me, I'm not criticizing any individual or a group of people. I feel Indian scientists generally pick bad problems, poor problems. My general thing is they do a wonderful job of a problem that nobody is interested in. They have answers to questions they were asked before. Lots of answers. No questions. Nobody is interested. In fact, very good work done on some unwanted areas, useless areas. It's very common in India, even today. That's true many others. If you go to Eastern Europe, it used to be so, even now it is so. Many places. That's where we have been beaten by China. China. China seems to know how to invest on the right area, push the research in a way. We have to learn to work on the right problem. Funding has to be improved. More than that, what about scientists? Are the scientists perfect in India? Well, I tell you, I don't want to say anything. Well, our scientists also, I don't know how dedicated they are. Are they working hard enough? I'm not sure. I don't think they don't work hard enough. That is my general complaint about my colleagues. No individual, I don't mean any individual, but as a group, they don't work hard enough. Working hard is something else. Well, another important thing, in the institutions I find, major big institutions, generosity is extremely important in science. Unless you have generosity to help the other person to do as well as you have done or even better, science cannot thrive. In fact, all the history of science is full of instances where a student beats his teacher hollow in performance because the teacher helps the student to come up. Like Pande and Devi is a good example. Sir Davy gave birth to Pande in all respects academically, but Pande beats Devi was nowhere compared to Pande. I think there are many such examples. So we have to encourage young people more. We have to encourage young people in such a way that they get all the opportunity and not be jealous. You see, what is happening is, I don't know about Uttarakhand, everywhere I am noticing, if you pick an average person as the head of something, he does not prefer anybody better than himself in his department. So he makes sure that somebody is inferior to him. He is already at such a level, anything inferior can be very low. So that is what has happened to our universities. That has happened to our institutions. Recruitment, promotion, everything is based on considerations other than academics. Second, generosity. Why are we, the senior person, I also become jealous, I'm dishonest if I don't say that. One of my students joins my department as an assistant professor, he does much better than me, I do feel a bit jealous. But the best thing I do, I'll beat the hell out of this guy, I'll do better work. I think we have to compete with these young fellows and the older fellows and show them how we can be as good. And not be jealous. And we don't allow young people to come up easily in this country. That will be a really major thing. I'm just mentioning this. Why is it India is not doing so well? Other than just investment and so on. And then of course, the joke is, what is the common quality of some people? Some parts, it's not from Uttarakhand. There are some parts of India, I don't want to mention what. There are people who are very angry. Whatever you say, they come something, they become very angry. And the answer is very angry. Even if you ask something, what do you think? They're always ready to fight you. So this anger is not very good for science. You have to have peace of mind and not to be angry. In fact, you should not be angry at all. It means the day you are angry, you can't do any science. That means you fight with your wife, you can't do anything that day in your life. So I think you can ask her, we never fight. We never allow you to fight. We always start with love. Very, very important. Attitude to life. Okay. Having said all this, in spite of all these aspects, the problems they have, can one succeed in India? I am worried about young people like this, young people. They are the future. How will they do it? I think that is where each one of us has to have our own goals, has to have our own models and icons. In my own life, it is true, I'm telling you. I've always thought of great men, great women of science when I have been depressed. They have really encouraged me. You may not believe this is true. I always wonder how, for example, Ramanujan, with no college education, class 12 के बाद admission नहीं मिला college. He had Sanskrit English, so no college. But he did more mathematics than most mathematicians in the world. 3,000 theorems and conjectures. Nobody has proved him wrong. And he is now considered one of the trinity in mathematics in the world. How did he do that? I had gone there to that place where he comes from, near Kumakonam, 2 years ago. What a miserable poor it is, not like Uttarakhand. They're terrible people in that place. How did they do mathematics in that place? It was amazing. Similarly, Professor Raman, whom I knew very well. I know I talked to Professor Raman in my life. He was the first man to recognize me in my life. I'll never forget that. Professor Raman, when he was an accounts officer or whatever he was called in Nagpur, During the day, you would work in the accounts office in the British government. Evenings, you go to science college and do research. And he became a FRS. I'm a fellow of the National Academy for the last 35 years. Let me tell you, it's not easy to become an FRS even this year, even now. Very difficult. He became a FRS then. They were working during evenings in a college. And I could stick up. Not when he did a regular job in the side. Then he goes to Calcutta. But during evening hours in Indian Association for Cultivation of Science, much of his Nobel Prize is based on the work he did during evening hours. Not based on a full-time job of the scientist. It's always amazing. And even more interesting, J.C. Bose, in the year 1895, 19th century, J.C. Bose made a discovery of telegraphy in Calcutta in Presidency College. Demonstrated how it works. Unfortunately, he was cheated out of a Nobel Prize. Marconi got the entire Nobel Prize. He should have shared it actually. Without Bose's work, Marconi couldn't have done what he did. But he got cheated out. Everyone admits that now. But whatever that was, this man, in 1895, this is for those who are in physics or chemistry, you remember why they hear in the body. 1895 is before they discovered the electron. The electron has not been discovered. The electron was discovered in 1897. And here is this man in India discovering this major thing in Calcutta. These are the people very inspiring people in India. They are equal, better, bigger names in the West. People like Pande and how Pande did so many things with nothing, with only 3 years of schooling, trained himself to become a scientist. Extraordinary performance. The number of things he did is so extraordinary in terms of number, quality, quantity, everything. And he created, he has created. In fact, many things we do today, we forget it was Pande who started it. The electrolysis, you all know. Pande electrolysis, right? Yeah. And then, the word electrode, anode, cathode, all these words, magnetism, paramagnetism, diamagnetism, all these words were coined by Pande. And he is a very simple man. In his greatness, never touched him. You see, when Queen Victoria got to ask Pande, Mr. Pande, I would like you to be knighted, go to give you a knighthood. He writes back to the Queen, my dear Queen, thank you so much for this great honor you are doing me. I'm just Mr. Pande, everybody calls me knight and all that. Let me be like that. I don't want your knighthood. He does the same. You are much bigger. The story is, as I told you, with the Royal Society, what a great place even today it is. The Royal Society asked Pande, we would like you to be the president of the Royal Society. It's the highest honor a scientist in Britain could get at that time. Today it may not be the case. Thank you so much for this honor. It's certainly wonderful to be asked to be president, but my place is in the laboratory. Please excuse me. You see, how many of us, this is what I mean by Indian. People become every professor wants to become a director. Every director wants to be director general. Director general wants to be secretary. You want to run the country. Why does everybody want to run the country? I don't know. Because to leave it to some people and do your work in your profession. But this is actually interesting to me, right? So my lecture is about science. The other interest in things other than academics, other than excellence, other than professional attainment, somehow attract people. Everyone is interested. Everyone wants to go to the administration. Somehow that's unfortunate. Anyway, I hope this won't continue. Our young people will change things and really do something. In fact, I used to teach in IIT Kanpur. So, I was a very young man. I was at the age of 29 or 30. I became a professor there and the head of the department at a very young age. I don't know how they made me then. No, nobody gets such jobs even now. But by that time I had written 2 books and all kinds of things. That doesn't even matter. But the reason I mentioned that is when I used to teach there, the students were so brilliant. In fact, the IIT students today are not so good because they all go through coaching classes. Those days there were no coaching classes. They were really bright students. Everyone in IIT tells me that there's a big difference in quality. Those students, I tell you, 20 to 30% of those students whom I taught in IIT Kanpur, if they worked for India, India would be different. They are so brilliant. They won't serve the entire world. Most of them sell soap and make money. This problem, they don't do that. Now scientists, most of them quit science, quit engineering, they make money in all kinds of things. And they are very good at it. In fact, computer science in America is mainly by these IIT graduates, lots of them like that. But some of them I hope such people will earn most for India. Well, people ask me, you are now 81, how come you are still working? To me, there is no other way to live. It's a wonderful life. Being a scientist, I'm one of the happiest men I know. In fact, I don't know many people who are as happy as I am. In fact, you laugh just because of it. The science is a profession. It keeps you very happy, very engaged. I have no regrets. I will never give up science because of that. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing. In fact, my wife showed me the other day an interview of my great friend and great musician, Bismillah Khan. Bismillah Khan used to play on the banks of Ganges when I was a student. Shana, I used to ask him, what is it you are doing? Bhagwan Kali, Bajarao. So he's a very, very great man. Those who knew him, he's a simple man. He didn't have value for money, he didn't even know accounts, he didn't know how many people ate in his house. Anytime there was 30, 40, 50 people ate in his house. He had no control of anything. And he was asked, just before he died, भाई खान साहब बुढ़ी ने भगवान से क्या प्रार्थना करते हैं? He said, oh God, let me be in the world of music as long as I'm alive. Wonderful. I feel exactly like that. Oh God, let me be in the world of science as long as I'm alive. There's no other way. And also about age, people say, you are 81. How come you are working? Well, age has nothing to do with energy. Age has nothing to do with motivation. Age has nothing to do with quality work. In fact, I have done the best research after my 70th year. My citations, everything in my life has increased after my 70th year. Last 10 years. So I always quote Kabir again. You all know that. Man mein Ganga, man mein Kashi, man mein Snan karo. So that's very correct. Everything is in the mind, and I hope people will realize that. It's meant for you people. Make up your mind. So, whether you're old when you're young, or young when you're old. Okay? Alright. But also, science has given me one thing which you may not, people may not understand that, a way of being unselfish. You see, one has to have fearlessness in the world. You have to have no selfishness. Little bit of selfishness, immediately because you are afraid of saying something. Because it's something you may want, because that may get affected by your expressing something. So fearlessness and selflessness always go together. And this selfishness is something that is very, very dominant in Indian society. And that is why China, by bulldozing, they have got rid of selfishness. Not by, people are not selfish. By law, by the way the government operates, make sure that you are not selfish. They are very good the way they do things. Here, everyone does things that we don't know. Of course, as Tagore said long ago, I even have a poem if you want to read. I can even read that out about selfishness. In Gitanjali writes, I came out alone on my way to my tryst. But who is this that follows me in the silent dark? I move aside to avoid his presence, but I escape him not. He makes the dust rise from the earth with his swagger. He adds his loud voice to every word that I utter. He is my own little self, my Lord. He knows no shame. But I am ashamed to come to thy door in his company. It is like that. The reason I mention this is, somehow we Indians have to learn to be rich, selfless, if this country has to survive. Not just survive, do well. Because in about 15 years, I hope you have thought about it. Those of you who are old like me, then you may not say, well, I'm too old. At least I won't have to worry. 20 years I won't be around. But all these young children will be in their prime of youth. There will be then big population growth. There will be much more people than at the time. There will be additional 4 to 5 crore children coming to higher education. I want to know. In another 10, 15 years. Additional 4 crore. And what have we done for that? We have to worry about that. I've requested every Prime Minister, including the present Prime Minister, please do something to draw a roadmap for our children. What will they do? Particularly the children in rural India, where the majority of brilliant young children are there in our community. What have we got from them? That is what India requires. Give them a path through education. Give them a path through science, technology, engineering, other skills, other areas, and let them strive because of that. So we have to do that. There are many challenges. Unless we answer these challenges, in the next 10 to 15 years, then the time I have as you India will have a tough time competing in the world. Time for those who may is not a easy thing. In fact, there is a very famous quotation. I usually read it out today. I won't read it out. Again, time is something you don't value, but then that's the most valuable thing. So I said, about time. What is the longest and the shortest thing in the world? The swiftest and the most slow. The most divisible and the most extended. The least valued and the most neglected. Without which nothing can be done, and which gives you all that is known and gives life and spirit to everything that is great. It is what the Creator thought as so valuable that He has given very limited amount to us. If the Creator thought time was not important, you would have lived for 500 years. That's what He said. But no, even not all of it. So I think this time is not available for India. In fact, the other day I was in a meeting, very important meeting about several months ago, not least very recent. Everyone, you may not believe it, the way other countries talk about it, not about India, about themselves. Japan, if you go, the main worry Japan has is Japan is not doing well. The worry Japan has is that it now becomes second rate compared to South Korea and China. जापान का भविष्य क्या है? जापान का दुनिया अभी खत्म हो जाता है 10 साल में. In fact, that's what they think, and they worry about a lot. And here we discussed very much more. The other day I was in a meeting, in fact they wanted to be a member of a group to help that I agreed. How to improve innovation in United Kingdom, in Britain. Britain is no longer as innovative as it used to be, say, 100 years ago, or 50 years ago. As you know, England was supposed to be the smallest area of land which has the highest number of ideas. The idea density of England was supposed to be highest in the world. More Nobel Prizes per unit square mile than any other country. But not anymore. So they want to know what to do. For some reason, though I am not British, I am helping them in my own way. Brazil is doing the same thing. They are very suddenly it was going up, suddenly it stopped. I don't have seen that. Last 4 years, Brazil has stopped progressing. Thanks to the present president, she is not allowing education and science to come up too much. Are we doing the same thing? I don't know. You think about it. We have to help the young kids, better education, leave them alone. Don't forget the best institutions are built by having bright people being left alone. James Conrad long ago said, somebody asked him, Dr. Conrad, how did you build Harvard University to be such a great center? He said, no, I did nothing. I just got the best mind, left them alone. I think we should learn that. Thank you very much.
मैं नितेश मजीद प्रेम फाउंडेशन से मुझे जानना था कि विज्ञान की पढ़ाई में विज्ञान के एजुकेशन में भाषा का क्या रोल होता है? क्या पर्टिकुलर भाषा में ही पढ़ने से क्या विज्ञान ज्यादा बढ़िया सीख सकते हैं और विज्ञान में हम आगे बढ़ सकते हैं? थैंक यू. Can I translate in English?
You want to know what the role of language is?
Graduate schools, lower classes, I feel one should study in Bharat. But must study English also. English must be studied, English language must be known. It is not necessary to have English medium at school end. However, once you finish primary school, everything will be English anyway. But language is important in some countries. Enterprise science in the world, English without that is cannot do. Okay. So it is very important therefore to have knowledge of English wanted to learn, it's quite alright to learn in mother tongue. I myself, I did not study in English medium, so high school. After high school only I studied in English in college. But all through I was very good in English, learned English a lot, but language was not a problem for me later.
Sir, this is me, Deepak Nayal, and I'm really honored and flattered to be here and to have you all here. And my question to you is, do you happen to believe that a age would come when technological advancement and scientific research would come to such a level that we can minimize the life casualties like the one we had a couple of days before, as you would have heard in Nepal? Can science and technology would come at such an age when we can actually narrow down the life loss hazard to near zero?
Well, natural disasters, that's what you wanted to picture. Natural disasters prediction is still a problem that's going on, not a research is going on. If you leave out natural disasters, there's some other types of problems. I think man has in fact helped. The average age of man has increased from even in India. In India, the average age of people in Uttar Pradesh or even in the states was way below 60, way above 60. So, that's already living as well as condition, because of time. But natural disasters, the kind of thing the earthquake and all, to predict that, there are scientific development is not complete yet. Nobody can complete with surety and anyone, even if it will happen. It's not yet as far as I know.
Sir, next question.
Hello, my name is Ratna. I'm calling from the Times of India. I'd like to know, is the present government doing enough to promote science in the rural areas, especially?
No, rural areas. I think their interest in science they have to understand. We do not know exactly. Their investment in science has not increased. Is about the same or a bit less than before. We'll have to see. We hope that Mr. Modi and his government will listen to scientists and other educationists and do the right things, and they are waiting for that. It's too early to say what their role is, what they are planning to do.
क्रांति जोशी अल्मोड़ा से खड़गपुर से सर मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि नालंदा तक्षशिला बेटर से क्या आईआईटी खड़गपुर या आईआईटी कानपुर बेटर है?
Don't be comparing, you're comparing two different ages. You can't compare like that. Nalinda Takshila didn't have engineering of the kind we do now. However, if the question of knowledge, it depends on what knowledge you're talking about. The kind of science we do today didn't exist at that time. So they were doing in the philosophy, all the Adhyatmic things and all that, extraordinary. I'm very proud of Nalinda and Takshila. But I won't compare with IIT and MIT. So these are two different things.
Yes, so my final question to you is, do you think that the education system is primarily responsible for our backwardness as compared to China or the United States? Because China is they are producing, every year in international Olympiads, they are producing 5 gold medals and all that. Do you think that our primary education is responsible for that?
But overall, I tell you, in general, the progress of India is very closely tied up with providing the proper education to our children. The future of India is dependent on that. You need people, the best poets, best philosophers, economists, and of course scientists and engineers. Not just engineers, science alone. Every year, we need economists, we need philosophers, we need poets, we need people in every area. So that requires good education, good opportunities for young people. So therefore, that takes the priority. Because that's the only thing the country can give to the children. Then the children will take care of themselves. So, in fact, I want to know the number of institutions China has started in science and technology alone is unbelievable. In fact, they started, the academy started a special university for science. And they thought there were about 5,000 students. There are no 45,000 students in China. Everything is like that. Huge numbers and so I don't want to compete with numbers. What I want to do is, we want to have high quality institutions. I didn't mention that before. The distribution of high quality institutions geographically has been very unfair. So in India, everything is in Madras, Bombay, Hyderabad, we should have the good institutions in every part of India. That has not happened. I've been waiting, for example, we must have something in Uttarakhand, Nashik, Kashmir. They have no major institutions created. Just now we have got Roorkee accidentally added on to you. But otherwise, not many. So I think we should have good distribution of institutions and of high quality. There's no doubt this is related to what we have. In fact, you may not believe it, we started, I was a member of the committee, we started Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas in India. In the rural India, there are 525 Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalayas for rural children. Those children are as good as the children of professors in this country. They are excellent children, they compete, they get free education, free board, everything fully supported. They are poor children coming from our business. I think we should have more such opportunities from them. So I think that is the future of India I can think of. I would start another 500 schools and make sure our IITs have a quality. There are no quality. We started the 8 IITs 7 years ago. I was very upset actually. We wanted to start 3 IITs. Our Prime Minister Manmohan Singh had agreed for 3. Somebody made 3 into 8. But easy transformation. So now half of them are not working. There's no campuses, there's no building, there's no teachers. There's no point having a big IIT without proper roading. Right now, fortunately, some of the IITs are doing well. The best IIT performing IIT today is IIT Bombay. I think it's number 1. Some others are not bad, but others have improved.
मुझे संकेत मिल गया है कि समय काफी हो गया। दो सवाल और।
एक लास्ट क्वेश्चन जो छोटे शहरों के
वो खड़ा पहले
हम जैसे युवाओं के लिए पहले मैं करूँ छोटे शहरों के जो हम विद्यार्थी हैं उनके लिए बड़ा सवाल है प्राइवेटाइजेशन ऑफ एजुकेशन को कैसे देखते हैं आप?
पूरा प्राइवेटाइजेशन हो नहीं सकता। देखिए अमेरिका में देखिए प्राइवेट यूनिवर्सिटी बहुत बढ़िया यूनिवर्सिटी है, हार्वर्ड प्राइवेट है और मतलब यूनिवर्सिटी कैलिफोर्निया पब्लिक है, गवर्नमेंट का यूनिवर्सिटी कैलिफोर्निया हार्वर्ड इनफैक्ट बेटर देन हार्वर्ड। So private doesn't be good or bad, being is both. But private institutions of quality will require. अभी क्या हो रहा है private institutions ज्यादातर commercial, lot of making money, lot of engineering colleges in Bangalore and like that. There are 67 engineering colleges in Bangalore. 67. What are so what this means? So therefore, private, nothing is private. Yes, they are as good as like Harvard or MIT or something. Stanford, and we should build that. So I even challenge the other day, our people like Ambani, Tata, and Infosys, they are going to give $3 or $4 billion. It's not much money. It is easy to get that. I will leave everything and build one big university as good as Harvard or Stanford. So nobody is stuck in money. अरे कम से कम बिजनेस के माध्यम से थोड़ा पैसा देता है, क्वालिटी भी कम होता है, गवर्नमेंट भी कम होता है। There are not many private institutions which are expensive, but not too bad. Nothing expensive. Of all things, some government institutions like AIM, WIAC, are not bad. Institute of Science, Scientific, CIFR, there are governments. So I am looking at private provided to do high quality.
एक प्रश्न आपका।
हेलो सर, मैं डॉक्टर सुशील सर, मैं क्वेश्चन एक आंसर जानना चाहता हूँ कि जैसे सर हमने देखा कि पिछले दशकों में हमारी जो एक टेक्नोलॉजिकल जो अपलिफ्टमेंट है या डेवलपमेंट है वो बहुत बड़ा है, लाइक मोबाइल, कंप्यूटर्स, ये सारी चीजें। लेकिन एट द सेम टाइम सर हम देखते हैं कि साइंस में कमी आ रही है। तो सर मैं ये जानना चाहता हूँ कि आप ऐसा मानते हैं?
मोबाइल से बिजनेस के लिए फायदा नहीं है।
ओके सर,
मोबाइल से भी नहीं आया और लैपटॉप पे भी नहीं है।
लेकिन सर
वो कार्टून था, वो अमेरिकन मैगजीन में वो इंटरव्यू में वो पूछा, अरे भाई तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? 1 मिनट लैपटॉप में
New generation gets a chance first. New generation gets a chance first.
But it's slightly true. they produce a lot of bright young scientists. A lot of people are coming for that now, just like they go to IITs. So things are improving. We also have to show a direction, show some profit. Everywhere profit motive is there. Profit not is money. Maybe something. So we must know research and so on is a good thing. And so we have not, on the other hand, we say IT is very good. So what has happened? In IT, Bangalore, 2 million young people are doing IT. They are all having nice time, big kids and walking around. And I just said they have everything except the big kids. They are producing a lot of people. And these people have become so distracted in life. By the time they are 35 years old, oh, even exhausted, they absolutely they get interested in life. Oh, suicide. Because Bangalore is now the suicide capital, 2,000 suicides. All young people doing IT.
I wanted to ask this question. You said there are wonderful institutions, IITs, medical institutions, science institutions, brilliant students, but 80% of them go abroad. There's this brain drain. If all of them were here, we would advance, our country would advance.
I said that at the beginning of my lecture. That was the case. I said that many of my students whom I taught in IIT were in India. But what I want to know the latest information. Something suddenly I say, last 2 to 3 years, the real facts are the following. Most of the Indian boys don't want to stay in America. They want to come back. America में इतना वो हालत अच्छा नहीं है, but life is not so enjoyable in America. They say many want to come back. What has happened now is there are not enough good institutions which can attract good people. So where will they go? They don't want to go to a secondary stage. They want to have a good institution. So we have to create enough number of good institutions where these young boys and girls can work. But they are slight change is there. You are right, but slight change.
But they can start work. Why should they go into an institution? If they've studied in this institution, they've had experience abroad, they can start their own businesses, own industry, own development.
Many of them doing it. Actually, the number of institutions, startup companies, some of them are happening now. Small number. These are the things that I try to say in my talks. We have improved, give them more opportunity for young people. Less bureaucracy, more opportunity. They have to do that. But it's improving. By the way, it's not so bad as 5 years.
समय कम कभी कम है तो
No.
यहाँ नहीं है, हम ये बिहार से कोई है आप लोग हाँ ठीक
for our present generation, reservation system is something which stops us from continuing our profession in academic and scientific research. So I want you to comment on this.
I will not comment on this. I don't want to comment on anything that is political. If you don't want political, that's political.
So I want you to express your view.
My question is, there are reservations for all the economically backward people in the world. I think there should be reservations for those who have not had opportunity. Whether it is due to caste, whether it is due to economic policy, both ways. But to an extent, but should not be infinite, should not go forever. Should be for some time.
So as reservation is just killing our great minds. Because though they are even 30% holders are getting education. So this should not be known.
That will write to Mr. Modi about it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
This is beyond me, that's why I'm it's all part of the government. Last question.
My name is Dinesh Meki. I work with the Institute of Management Development. So my concern is whether this present wave of contractual lecturers and guest lecturers in the formal universities, even it will lead, it will better the quality of education, or as you have presented that quality of education is deteriorating. So what is your opinion about that?
We have to, we can improve the quality by getting a lot of the visitors and guest lecturers and so on. But the Indian faculty side, what I want to do is, people say, MIT lectures are available on the internet. But everything in the internet, if people can use, there's no problem. But they don't use, they can't use it. Before we had library, if anybody used use libraries, there will be no problem. But they don't use it. So therefore, it's very important to have teachers who are capable in the institute. Real visitors can't change everything. I believe in direct contact only. The real teacher in the classroom will influence the child. It will not be by proxy, it will not be by internet, it will be only by direct contact. That is why when we are all coming to Gregorian only for that. We want the children to listen to scientists, children to listen to good teachers, and that is the only way to do. Last question, yeah. Yes, this is boy.
आपकी नजरों में
This young child on the question. He wants to know whether I wanted to become a scientist. Yeah, so. Yeah, I'll show you. How old are you now? How old are you? Huh? Exactly same. I was 11 years old. 11 years. I was in a school in Bangalore, and C.V. Raman came to a school. C.V. Raman gave a lecture. After the lecture, I said, my God, this man is so impressive, I want to be like him. Somehow, then, he also said, told our teachers, bring one or two students to the school and show them how easy to bend a ball. So I was one of them. So I still remember, in the year 1945, C.V. Raman taking me around to the world, talking, and that he made a big difference. I think by the time I was 17, I made up my mind to become a scientist.
सर आपकी नजरों में who is the main reasons of कि भारत अमेरिका ब्रिटेन जापान से अभी भी विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में पीछे है व्हाट इज द रीजंस ऑफ मेन कि भारत क्यों पीछे है विज्ञान के क्षेत्र में अमेरिका से और ब्रिटेन इत्यादि देशों से क्योंकि भारत की पॉपुलेशन भी अन्य देशों से अधिक है
पॉपुलेशन तो अधिक है मगर अब तो हमारी क्वालिटी हमारे विज्ञान के जो विज्ञान में काम करते हैं तो क्वालिटी थोड़ा बढ़ाना है विज्ञान क्षेत्र का इन्वेस्टमेंट बढ़ाना है बहुत कुछ करने का है और सब करने का और 10-15 साल में हिंदुस्तान में भारत में भी वो आगे आ जाएगा My hope is, if all the things are done, if right investments are made, or young people are given opportunities, in 15 years India will be the top 5 countries in the world. So people do it. Or we can just forget about children, forget about education and life.